Hello and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. First tonight, Nigeria is postponing its February 14th presidential election for 6 weeks due to concerns over security because of the Boko Haram insurgency.
If the security of personnel, voters, election observers, and election materials cannot be guaranteed, the life of innocent young men and women, as well as prospects for free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections, would be greatly jeopardized.
Boko Haram now controls large parts of northeastern Nigeria. Experts say conducting a peaceful vote in those areas would likely be impossible. President Goodluck Jonathan's re-election campaign has been peppered with criticism because of his failure to rein in violence from extremists and rescue more than 200 schoolgirls kidnapped by militants. Nobel Peace Prize laureate and Pakistani education activist Malala Yousafzai marked Sunday's 300th day since the kidnapping, saying rescue of the girls is less of a priority because their parents are not among the politically and financially powerful. The president's main rival in the March 28th election is seeking to benefit from dissatisfaction over the handling of security, promising to make the country safer.
What I can do different is to empower the law enforcement agencies to be much more efficient.
4 West African countries, Benin, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger, say they plan to join forces with Nigeria to fight Boko Haram. However, representatives say they urgently need $4 million to deploy the multinational force next month. Well, for more on the reactions and implications of the postponement of the Nigerian elections, I'm joined live via Skype from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, by VOA's West Africa correspondent. And look, Anne, welcome to Africa 54. And the question here is, there have been mixed reactions across the country. What is the opposition saying? What is the ruling party saying?
Yeah, I mean, in all, I think voters in general are pretty disappointed. It's pretty unfortunate. They're a bit worried. This has definitely raised anxieties. You know, will the extra time lead to heightened tensions? Will the extra time lead to perhaps irregularities? You know, it's disappointment mixed with a little bit of anxiety, I'd say. In terms of the political class, I mean, the opposition supporters I've spoken to, they are, you know, it's regretful, but they are pretty confident. They tell me, oh, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, we can vote now. We can vote in 6 weeks. It doesn't matter. We're going to win. The PDP, I hear, for in general, is pretty is happy about the postponement. And just overall, too, the opinions we've gotten are that people are a little skeptical about whether or not 6 weeks is all it's going to take to deal with the security situation in the Northeast. People are a little skeptical that was really all that was behind this. People are seeing a little bit of political motivation here, given the recent polling, given concerns that, you know, the PDP and APC were running neck and neck. So maybe this gives the PDP a little extra time to campaign, a little extra time to try and get its message across to voters. But
The question is, we sometimes forget about the people who actually reside in this northeastern states of Nigeria. What are we hearing from there? What did they favor, the population?
That part of the country is seen as what we're hearing from them. Their homes, whether or not they feel safe voting, whether or not they have their voter cards.
Well, looks like we're running into some technical problems there with Anne Look reporting via Skype live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Well, for more perspective, I'm now joined by Leo Keyen. He's the head of the VOA's Hausa service. Leo, a lot is happening in Nigeria, and we're just talking to Anne. And the question that I want to ask you too is, first, what are you hearing, especially from the people in the states where the violence has become a daily thing?
We're hearing about credibility. You know, we're dealing with a chief of army staff or chief of defense staff who said that he was going to recover these girls. It never happened. He said he was going to end Boko Haram. It never happened. We're hearing people being skeptical about his capacity to do anything different. That is what's happening, and that's what's coming out of the northeastern part of Nigeria. They don't believe that what the army has not been able to do in the last 6 months, you can do in 6 weeks.
But then, how about the credibility of the election? Is this one of those lose-lose situations? You hold the election, and under those circumstances, they say they cannot be credible. You don't hold the election at the time that they were supposed to be held. Again, there are questions raised.
Yeah, there are constitutional issues here, Vincent. The fact is that the army, is supposed to take on the insurgency, but it is not directly involved in the conduct of elections. That is the duty, the responsibility, the constitutional responsibility of the police. So these two issues have to be looked at together. The police is ready to conduct the elections. The army is saying the country is not safe enough because of those 3 states. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the issue is where are we going to go from here? Are they going to be able to contain Boko Haram within those months?
Did they release, has the government released any plan that would give confidence to people that within those 6 weeks something will change?
Not other than what Chris Olukolade has said, which is to say that the Nigerian military are now re-strategizing along with Niger, Chad, and Cameroon in a new offensive to take on Boko Haram. Well, that itself is not a clear picture. So we'll see what happens from here.
In terms of the gains and losses, who stands to gain more from this postponement?
Well, the Nigerian politics is such that those in government normally use government money to campaign. So obviously the APC loses in terms of finances, but morally speaking and psychologically speaking, you will find that the APC are more bent on re-strategizing to win this election better than they even thought from the beginning, because they feel offended at this time, and I think this has only recharged their thinking to go forward.
Buhari, the opposition leader, Muhammadu Buhari himself, feels that the election shouldn't have been postponed. But for some, in fact, the situation in the Northeast affects him more negatively. A chaotic and insecure Northeast actually does him not so much good.
Let's look at this, Vincent. He goes on to say that his supporters should remain calm and they should not go violent. They should take their time. There's no problem about this postponement. They are going to win the election. I think that pays a lot of dividends to him and to his supporters. For the first time, we hear Nigerians singing peace, peace, peace. In the past, this thing would have led to a violent demonstration that would have invited the military, and then there would be a coup or something like that. But that's not taking place at this time. Mm-hmm. So we are very, very sure that this election is going to take place in 6 weeks.
Now, the other question people have been asking is, was this solely the decision of INEC, or was there someone who nudged INEC and said, let's postpone this election?
Well, you know from there's no credible polling in Nigeria.
Yeah.
What you have in Nigeria is actually the turnout at the rallies. They've been very massive in terms of Buhari's attendance, whereas in the case of Goodluck Jonathan, you find stadia with spaces and people moving around freely. Yeah, that is an indication of what's supposed to happen. If those people go home and instruct their people to vote, then something is happening.
So some people are suspicious that actually this is not entirely the electoral body's decision.
Well, whatever it is, Jega has put out very cogent reasons.
Yeah.
You cannot conduct an election when your security agencies are saying that they cannot guarantee the safety of the materials, the staffers, and the polling units.
What's going to happen, and we don't have the way to know this, but if in 6 weeks we still have chaos, we have insecurity in the Northeast?
Well, the army would have to tell us what they think.
It's a very dicey situation.
Very dicey.
All right, Leo, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thanks a lot. Yes. Well, Leo Keyen is the head of the VOA's Hausa service.